Welcome to Bahamas Educational Express Science Lesson Video, Physical Properties and Change. In this lesson, learners will be able to define physical change, name physical properties that can be observed and measured, and list some physical properties. Matter. Matter is everywhere. Matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. Matter is consistently experiencing both chemical and physical changes. Change. Physical changes occur when matter changes its property but not its chemical nature. Physical property changes could include a change in the texture, the shape, size, color, odor, volume, mass, weight, and density. Physical properties can be measured. These are density, heat, length, height, and width. Physical properties that can be observed, and they are color, shape, size, luster, texture. Properties of matter. Properties of matter are color, taste, texture, shiny, weight, transparent. When matter loses its physical properties but not its chemical nature. Let's look at the first one. Here we have water in the glass. When this water is frozen, it becomes solid ice, but it is still water. Here we have an egg white. We will beat the egg white. While it will turn foamy, it will still be the egg white. It will not change its physical nature. Its property change, but the nature remains the same. Bending. We can bend a metal, but it is still a metal. Nothing was changed. Breaking a glass. A glass will be broken, but it is still glass. While it may be in pieces, it is still glass. So the property change, but not the chemical nature. When we crumble or crush a paper, it is still a paper, but its property changed from a whole paper to a crumbled paper, but it's still the paper. No chemical change took place. Smashing a can. You smashed the can, it made it smaller, but it's still a can. The physical property changed, but the chemical nature did not change. Cream melting. Ice cream will go from a solid to liquid, but it's still ice cream. The physical properties change, but the chemical nature remains the same. It is still ice cream. Let's look at cutting an apple. We may cut the apple or an apple in many pieces. However, the physical property change from a whole apple to apple in pieces, but it is still the same apple. Melting ice. Ice may melt from a solid to a liquid, but it's still the ice. The physical property change from solid to liquid, but it's still the ice. A watermelon to make a smoothie. It is still a watermelon. The physical properties change, but the chemical nature remains the same. A bread. It is still a bread. How many slices you may cut, how small you may cut, it is still the bread. The physical property change, but the chemical nature remains. Here, matter can change, but the properties will not. For example, if you have a bottle of juice and you pour it into a container to make pop, when you put it into the freezer, it gets hard. It is solid. It is still juice. When you light a candle, it melts. It gets smaller, but it is still a candle. The physical properties change, but it is still a candle. When you put wet clothing on the line, the sun evaporates the water. The clothing dry. So we go from wet to dry. Physical property change, but the clothing remains the same. When we put water in an ice tray and put it in a freezer, it gets hard. It becomes solid. It is still water. It changes from a liquid to a solid. Physical change takes place, but it is still water. Here you are boiling water. Water boils. It may go down a bit, but it is still water. The physical property remains the same. And on physical properties and changes.